This is Chad Toyne with a Monday, November 17 Market Minute for grains from Trader PhD Ag Marketing. Into grains, a wacky WASDE came out on Friday, sending the markets lower, while so far here this morning we got markets rebounding, with corn recovering most of Friday's losses, while beans and wheat have made everything back and then some. First, Friday's WASDE was released while the USDA was less than prepared for a release. The WASDE release came with a notation that a lot of data that is normally available was not available for the report due to the government shutdown. Corn had the biggest surprise. The trade was expecting yields to be trimmed by over 2.7 bushels per acre, but we only got 7/10, a full 2 bushels short. And that leaves us with a big corn crop, and the market fell. In soybeans, not only did the yields get cut more than expected, but ending stocks were lower than expected as well. Bullish factors, but soybeans fell anyway after being up so high for most of the week. Wheat took a hit after the WASDE as well, with global ending stocks being the most bearish part of the report. Corn, beans, and wheat all really took it on the nose on Friday. And now, coming in on Monday morning, the grains are off to the races again. Trump did make a comment over the weekend about how China is going to be buying a lot of soybeans. There was also news about how tariffs on many food items would be reduced or dropped, including beef. But the grains are trading this morning like WASDE was ancient history, and folks are scrambling to buy before other people buy. So who's doing all the buying? So far, a dump of export data happened on Friday, showing China only bought a third of a ton of soybeans, while the promised purchases of 12 million metric tons by the end of the year still looms. This data suggests that China is way behind schedule. So we don't have any hard data that China is doing the buying. Maybe this is spec-driven. That means the funds have stepped up. When we get some commitment of traders data, that's going to help. And maybe some of the speculation is driven by an anticipated partnership with Argentina, where we have a framework agreement. This whole topic is complex and will likely be a topic later on, but it sounds like we may be utilizing Argentina's idle soybean crushing capacity. Soybeans going to Argentina and a trade deal for the bean oil. This is all a feedstock biofuel story, but it could help explain where all the buying is coming from that's being led by soybeans. And this just in, we have an update on NOPA soybean crush figures. U.S. processors crushed a record for October of 227.6 million bushel. That's a new all-time record. A 200 figure is a lofty number, only seen a handful of times, but 227 is completely off the charts. We know crushers have been doing some buying. Watch your overhead targets. Remember our expanded targets and how it seemed like our new higher soybean targets seemed out of reach? Just this morning, we came within 2 cents short of our January target of $11.58. Hitting any of these overhead targets results in a sell signal. Best to have these in place with your grain merchandiser instead of doing these by hand. The discipline of keeping these targets fresh with your co-op or ethanol plant beats the discipline of trying to keep up on these by hand. Later this week, expect an update of overhead targets and a regular full roundup of commodities. That's it for today. I'm Chad Toyne, and this has been Trader PhD. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Futures trading involves substantial risk and is not suitable for all investors.